Alright, so today we're going to talk about using data to make graphs. But in order to understand this, we've got to talk about models first. Not those kind of models. We're talking about scientific models. These are representations of an idea, event, or object that's too large, too small, or takes too much time to see completely. We're going to look at three different types of models today. First, there are physical models. These represent natural structures like cells and atoms. Then there are mathematical models. These are equations and graphs that represent facts and relationships. Last, there are conceptual models. These are flows of thought like Venn diagrams and flowcharts. Models are important because they help us to understand a system, to help us build a hypothesis, they help guide us through our experimental design, and they can help us make predictions in new situations. It means that it's going to help us to infer, to look ahead, and to predict. So what is data? It's simply information. It can be qualitative or quantitative in nature. Qualitative data is descriptive. It's without the use of numbers. It uses words to describe, while quantitative data is represented by numerical value. For example, this mother, if she's wanting to plan a pizza party for our class, she would need to look at the Pizza Lovers survey data in order to know what types of pizza and how many of each. Your report card is also an expression of data. It shows the average of the grades that you earned. No matter where you go, no matter how hard you run, you cannot escape from data. It's everywhere, on TV, in books. Okay, we use it to make money. We can use it also to build things, to design things, to plan things. We can also use it to solve problems, to cure disease. With all this data everywhere, it can be really confusing. You have all these numbers that have different meanings, multiple meanings. It can be very frustrating. So what do we do with all these numbers? Okay? In order to resolve some of that frustration, we need to use graphs in order to organize this data. It helps us put it into a way that we can see patterns and trends and make those inferences that we previously talked about. Okay? Graphs with, or data without graphs doesn't mean too much. It just shows us a whole bunch of numbers. But when we take that data and we put it with a graph, now we can see what's going on. Now we can get a picture of what's going on all around us. There's three types of graphs that we're going to talk about. There's a bar graph, a line graph, and a pie graph. All of these different types of graphs can show us the same data in different ways. Gives us new perspectives, helps us give us a very holistic picture of what the data is trying to show us. So first, let's look at a pie graph. These show parts of a whole. It gives us relative sizes of data so that we can see how it all pieces together. Then there's the bar graph. That shows comparisons of amount or frequency of occurrence of certain characteristics. The x-axis always has the independent variable, the y-axis the dependent variable. Then we have our line graph. These can show trends and changes over time. And just like the bar graph, a line graph's x-axis is the independent variable and the y-axis is the dependent variable. Congratulations, you made it through our video. Now that your brain hurts, it's time to go lay down and take a nap. Get you some Z's. Get rested up for school tomorrow.